Let's see if it worked now. God damn. The live stream ain't even showing up now. Yo, yo. That shit weak as hell, bro. The show must go on. I need this shit, bro. Hopefully you motherfuckers catch this one. I'll add the name and title later. But again, it may be asked, why should we take this for granted? Why should we admit that the soul has knowledge, blessedness, and existence as its essence? And how and has not borrowed them? Let's read that again. Again, it may be asked, why should we take this for granted? Why should we admit that the soul has knowledge, blessedness, and existence as its essence, and has not borrowed them? It may be argued, why not say that the soul's luminosity, the soul's blessedness, the soul's knowledge are borrowed in the same way as the luminosity of the body is borrowed from the mind? The fallacy of arguing in this way will be, hold up, the fallacy of arguing this way will be that there will be no limit. From whom were these borrowed? If we say from some other source, the same question will be asked again. So at last we shall have to come to one who is self-luminous. To simplify matters then, the logical way is to stop where we get self-luminosity and proceed no further. We see then that the human being is composed first of this external covering, the body, secondly of the fine body consisting of mind and intellect and ego, and behind them is the real soul of man. So, if you just joining, we just had to leave a last chat and bring it over to this one and start a new live stream. And I will put the link down in the bottom. Put the link down in the bottom. Hold up. So you can obviously sign up for the email list. We get the email list going on over here. Oh yeah. Let me post it in the Discord group. I ain't even got time to rename the video. But let me go and click the link and share it. Discord. Appreciate you, Coop. Hold up while I send this on over there to the group. He just said some shit. Because you got people that's gonna be like, well, how we know that the soul ain't borrowing life from somewhere else? How we know that ain't happening? So he's proposing an argument that could be said. By everyone. That's the only time I'm gonna be at everyone. I ain't gonna be at everybody for everything every goddamn day. We back. Had to restart. Sunshine Chick, peace, peace, peace. Sunshine Chick, what's happening? Always standing on motherfucking principle. Old folks say principle. Principle. Are you standing on principle? Damn, so the one that I just did, y'all let deleted. Fuck. Let me add this in here as well. So people can join the email list and a hall of mirrors. I know that's right. Let me add this so people can join the Discord group. You sign up with this link that I'm about to put in the bio, and you that I'm about to put in the chat. Damn, I gotta go back to it on here. Put this shit in the chat and pin it in the comments, and I'll go back and redo the description after the video is over. Put this in the chat. So if you join the Discord group, get over there with some advanced motherfuckers. Join the Discord. Join Discord. Sign up here, motherfucker. 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 Besides the peace, 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 beloved. Peace, beloved. All right, let's finish this last statement that he said. All right. We see that then the human being is composed of first, this external covering, the body. Secondly, of the fine body, consisting of mind, intellect, and ego. And I'm telling you, that's what your spirit is. Your spirit consists of mind, intellect, and ego. And honestly, all of that is inside the mind. The ego and the intellect is inside the goddamn mind. But there's a reason why they make a big distinction between them, because these are the factors of the mind that make up the mind. All right. Behind them is the real soul of man. We have seen. We have seen. Let's see. Make sure that's clear to y'all. We have seen. What have we seen? All right. They look clear. We have seen that all the powers of the gross body are borrowed from the mind. Remember that. All the powers of your physical body come from the mind. Shout out to Traggy with the I think this is a great addition to what he was reading last night. Shit, what he's really been reading, dealing with the Kabbalistic. I got the book right here. What is it? Oh, this volume 1. I got volume 2 too, but the Kabbalistic symbolism book. I think we are going over the 28th and the 30th path yesterday. Um, I forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, okay. That all the powers of the gross body are borrowed from the mind, and the mind, the fine body, borrows its powers and luminosity from the soul standing behind. A great many questions now arise about the nature of the soul. If the existence of the soul is admitted on the basis of the argument that it is self luminous, that knowledge, existence, and blessedness are its essence, it naturally follows that this soul cannot have been created from nothing. A self luminous existence, independent of any other existence, could never have non existence for its cause. We have seen we have seen that even the physical universe cannot have come from nothing. Not to speak of the soul, we have seen that even the physical universe cannot have come from nothing. Not to speak of the soul. It always existed. There was never a time when it did not exist. Because if the soul did not exist, where was time? Time is in the soul. When the soul reflects its powers on the mind and the mind thinks, then time appears. When there was no soul, certainly there was no thought. And without thought, there was no time. Is this making sense to anybody? Is this not making sense? Do I need to do a, you know what I'm saying? Do I need to go deeper into it? Let me know in the chat. Or we good? Want me to keep going? Let me know. Did I pin it? Okay, that's pin. Somebody let me know something. Keep going. Y'all hit that like button too. Please hit that like button. I'm waiting for y'all to tell me something though. Keep going, or do we need to read that again and go through a more of a breakdown of that statement? Because what I want you to understand is he's describing consciousness. He's describing what they call in Advaita Vedanta as the self. That's what that means when we're talking about the knowledge of the self. It's not just simply, oh, let me learn my astrology. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button, y'all. We got the likes ain't matching the people that's in the chat. I need y'all to hit the like button. So we're not just talking about our ancestry. We're not just talking about that as a self. That considered by these ancients will call that the lower knowledge. Then you have the higher knowledge. The higher knowledge is this type of knowledge, what we call the soul, what we can call the self, what we're going to call pure unconditioned consciousness, what the occult calls chaos. And nobody said nothing, so we're going to keep going then. Or am I breaking up, goddammit? Nobody said nothing, so we're going to keep going then. All right, so what are we doing here? When there was no soul, certainly there was no thought, and without thought there was no time. How can the soul therefore be said to be existing in time when time itself exists in the soul? Come on, man. Gangster shit. How can the soul therefore be said to be existing in time when time itself exists in the soul? It has neither birth nor death, nor death. But it is passing through all these various stages. It is manifesting itself slowly and gradually from lower to higher and so on. It is expressing its own grandeur, working through the mind and the body. And through the body, it is grasping the external world and understanding it. See, you want to get the understanding here when he's talking about the soul gradually from lower to higher. He's talking about it doing that through the mind as its medium, through the human body as its medium. It does not do any of this at all. I want y'all to understand that. It does none of this at all. But the medium, which is sending back the information, whatever I guess you want to say, back and forth, is being done through the mind. All existence is being experienced through the mind. As it says, it is expressing its own grandeur, working through the mind and the body. And through the body, it is grasping the external world and understanding it. It takes up a body and uses it. And when that body has failed and is used up, it takes another body. And so on it goes. What's sunshine chick put? I missed it. Here comes a very interesting doctrine. That doctrine, which is generally known as the reincarnation of the soul. Let's make sure that that's showing good on the screen. Take a sip of this water, because niggas like water. Alright, look like we showing good. Okay, here comes a very interesting doctrine now. Here comes a very interesting doctrine. That doctrine, which is generally known as the reincarnation of the soul. Sometimes people get frightened at the idea. And superstition is so strong that even thinking men believe that they are the outcome of nothing. And then, with the grandest logic, try to reduce the theory that although they have come out of zero, they will be eternal ever afterwards. Those that come out of zero will certainly have to go back to zero. Neither you nor I nor anyone present has come out of zero, nor will go back to zero. We have been existing eternally and will exist, and there is no power under the sun or above the sun which can undo our may existence or send us back to zero. Now, it's not he's not talking in the occultic way of the 0 point. He's not talking in that way. He's talking about, like, I guess, our basic understanding of zero. Let's say that our normal worldly people mind of zero. All right. See what Coop just said. Yeah, that's crazy how they think you can come from zero and then go to eternity. Right. You see what I'm saying? That's backwards. And it's some evolutionary materialistic type shit, right? Now, this idea of reincarnation is not only not a frightening idea, but most essential for the moral well-being of the human race. It is the only logical conclusion that therefore men can arrive at. If you are going to exist in eternity hereafter, it must be that you have existed through eternity in the past. It cannot be otherwise. Do you hear that? It is the only logical conclusion that thoughtful men can arrive at. If you are going to exist in eternity hereafter, it must be that hold up. It must be that you have existed through eternity in the past. It cannot be otherwise. That's why I keep saying, what bondage? What suffering? Are you sure you're suffering? When I say you, I don't mean the person that's sitting right here thinking. I mean that which is outside of all of that, which is the soul, the real you, the self. That's what we're talking about, the knowledge of the self. You come into the knowledge of the self, what bondage? What suffering? Coop said bars. I like that shit. Hey, cool, bro. Yo, we gonna chop it up soon, bro. I'm gonna definitely have to have you on here because he is a yogi. That's my personal partner, y'all. Coop is a yogi. He gonna definitely have to come on. So if you're in the Discord group, I'm gonna have a time where we gonna chop it up in there, and I'm gonna get everybody to who want to come on. We just gonna have like a meeting, a mastermind meeting group, but it's a coach shit. If you just join, hit the like button. There's way more people who watching that ain't hit the like button. Hit that like button. God damn it! Join the Discord group, motherfucker. We got the link inside the chat. Hit the like button. I'm seeing you motherfuckers. Keep coming in. Y'all ain't hitting the like button. Y'all know how YouTube is, man. Come on, man. Come on, dog. Come on, gangsters. Come on, spiritual warriors. Beloveds, hit the like button. Alright? Now, I would try to answer a few objections that are generally brought against this theory. Although many of you will think that they are very silly objections, still, we have to answer them. For sometimes we find that the most learned men are ready to advance the silliest ideas. Well, has it been said that there never was an idea so absurd that it did not find philosophers to defend it? The first objection is, why do we not remember our past? Uh-oh. But do we remember all of our past in this life? How many of you remember what you did when you were babies? None of you remember your babyhood. And if upon memory depends your existence, then this argument proves that you did not exist as babies. Think about that shit right there. Hit the like button, y'all bullshitting. Think about this shit right there. No, none of us remember our babyhood, but all of us are talking about we don't have past lives, and if so, why we don't remember it? But shit, nigga, you don't remember from shit from you was a baby. So technically, by that logic, you were never a baby. But ain't nobody gonna argue that I was a baby. I came out my mom. Are you sure you did, nigga? You don't remember what it says? Hold on, let's make sure it's lining up straight. All right, we lining up straight. Because you do not remember your babyhood. It is simply unmitigated nonsense to say that your existence depends on your remembering it. How can we remember our past life? How can we remember? The brain has gone. The brain is gone, broken into pieces, and a new brain has been manufactured. What has to come to this brain is a resultant, the sum total of impressions acquired in your past, with which the mind has come to inhabit the new body. That's what I'm telling you. This is what reincarnation is. Your past life impressions. That's why I say after these live streams, that's why we send study guides. So you can keep seeing it. You don't have to come back to the video and watch it. You can keep seeing it. You can reflect right there laying in your bed late night. Let me pull up that study guide that we got from last night. What has come to this brain as a result of the sum total of impressions acquired in our past, which is the mind has come to inhabit the new body, which is why I say what? To be able to get this level of information or whatever level of information that you are getting and whatever level of spirituality, I don't even like using levels, but whatever, fuck, man. Whatever level of information that you can retain that it hits you and makes sense to you or that you're attracted to, that's based off of your past karma. Charlie ever talking about that same shit last night. Me and him had this conversation. Lawless Blaze, peace, standing on motherfucking principle, dog. What's happening? Big P's, dog. So what we were saying, it's obvious that for you to be able to grasp this level of information or be attracted to this level of information, hit that like button, y'all. To be attracted to this type of level of information, you have had to go through past lives with these impressions and bringing them into this life. You don't just wake up and be able to tap into this type of shit. Some people try just because it's cool, but you can tell. They end up running back to so and so, so and so. They end up calling angel numbers evil. They end up saying that occult is this and occult is that. It's like they're not ready for this level of information because they have not had the right level of mental impressions to be able to grasp this. That means they didn't grasp it in their past life. This is all based off of karma. Karma, action. Your past actions from a past life. I always tell people, y'all keep talking about karma ain't real. Where you getting it from? We know you got it from Bobby Hemmett, but you didn't even understand what Bobby Hemmett was saying. Bobby had a fine-tuned understanding of karma. Why? Because he went back and studied the people who were the name, where the term karma came from. Pretty sure we had one in ancient Egypt too, nigga. Pretty sure. You just joined, hit that like button. If you have not joined the Discord group, it is pinned in the chat. We need you in the Discord group. Lawless Blaze, are you in a Discord group? If you're not, you're bullshit. Lawless Blaze, I think you already on the email list. I didn't send it to you. I ain't seen you in there unless you got a different name in the Discord chat. Come on now, we need you in there now. You're always standing on P anyway. You're always standing on P anyway. So we need you to stand on P in the Discord group as well. I, as I stand here, am the effect, the results of all the infinite past. Hold up, hold up. I, you're standing on P anyway, Lawless Blaze. Stand on P in the Discord chat. We need you, bro. We need you, bro. I should have sent you, should have had an email. I know you're on the email list. I think you're on the email list for sure. Get your ass to the Discord, bro. I just need all the ones who really about this shit to be in there, bro. You know I ain't calling you out like that, bro. Not on no shit like that. I know you know anyway. I'm just saying. But yeah, man, get your ass in the Discord, bro. All right, let's see. I, as I stand here, am the effect, the results of all the infinite stand. Hold up, fuck, man. It's the way that I gotta sit to read this shit, y'all. I, as I stand here, am the effect, the results of all the infinite past which is tacked onto me. That's what you niggas is. That's why Coop is the motherfucking Coop the Yogi. That's why Lawless is blazing through this motherfucker. Because he is, as he stands there, as they stand there, the effect of the results of all the infinite past which is tacked on to them. They have brought these mental impressions from past lives. If you sitting here watching and not comment, that's fine. But you, to be able to sit here and watch this shit, and then you have done this shit before, and you back here to remember that shit, to tap back into that shit, and take it up a notch, turn it up a notch. Past lives. You see what I'm saying? This is how you know. You're like, bro, me and Trav was having this conversation, bro. Like, it can't be no way in the fuck. Like, Trav even brought it to my attention, and I also read it in Swami Vivekananda's book about karma. Like, bro, you don't even get to these type of books. That shit that was dropped on that Dark Veil Lifted video, you don't even get to that type of shit. You don't even get to these type of books and this information if your karma is not set on that level, on that tune. If your karma doesn't allow you to, you may get the book and be like, okay, cool, that was some cool shit. Or you may get the book and never read it. Or some of us get the book, and just boom, get that realization. That's what happened to me. That's what happened to me once I ran into the Punisher. I was able to connect all this shit. There was a reason I ran into Trav Channel. You see what I'm saying? My karma drove me towards him to be able to get a finer, tuner understanding of the tree of life. The tree of life was that last little bit of key for me to be able to boom, 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 and start hopping to this Eastern shit. Then I ventured off and got some books on my own just because they seemed like they stuck out to me. And then boom, ran into the goddamn Yapana shot. Ultimately, I'm giving it in a real short sequence. There's way more to that. But boom, boom, boom. Oh, these motherfuckers talk. These motherfuckers giving the same definition that we giving the occult for chaos, but they calling it consciousness. But they calling it the soul. What the fuck? Let me do deeper research before I bring this to my people. And you know what I'm saying? It don't make sense. And then I just be looking like an asshole. But then again, I had my own personal mystical experience. I've told y'all about that on plenty of other videos. Shit was fucking terrifying. But it aligns with what they're talking about, with the self, with the self. That's why we call it knowledge of thyself. Know thyself. It's not talking about you as the human being, bags of bones. The true self is the soul, consciousness, chaos, as we call it in the occult. Such is the power of superstitions that many of those who deny the doctrine of reincarnation believe that we are descended from monkeys. Hmm. Fucking monkey, you monkey. But they do not, but they do not have the courage to ask why we do not remember our monkey life. When a great ancient sage, a seer, or a prophet of old who came face to face with truth says something, these modern men stand up and say, oh, he was a fool, but just use another name. Huxley? Huxley or Tyndall? What the fuck is Huxley? Huxley, Huxley, or Tyndall. Huxley or Tyndall. Well, you know the nigga wrote this shit, or said this shit in 1896. I don't know what that means. All of you is Huxley. What the fuck does that mean, though, Coop? I don't know what the fuck that means. So if somebody can drop the definition now, or just use another name, Huxley or Tyndall, then it must be true. Oh, or he's saying that's somebody's actual name. He's saying they said this. Huxley and Tyndall said this. Are they people? I don't know. Then it must be true. And they take it for granted. In place of ancient superstitions, they have erected modern superstitions. In place of old popes of religions, they have installed modern popes of science. So we see that this objection as to memory is not valid, and that is about the only serious objection raised against this theory. He wrote Brave New World. Okay, so these are authors or philosophers or scientists. Okay, okay, so they people. I thought that was a term, but they actually people. Okay, gotcha. Although we have seen that it is not necessary for acceptance. Okay, cool. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Although we have seen that it is not necessary for the acceptance of this theory that there should be the memory of past lives, yet at the same time we are positioned to assert that there are instances which show that this memory does come. Uh-oh. And to teach, and that each one of us will get back this memory at the time of liberation. Uh-oh. Nigga wanna know your past life. Why you wanna know your past life? Hit that like button right now. You niggas need to hit the like button right now. And if you ain't joined the Discord group, you need to hit the link pinned in the chat. Niggas, join the Discord group. Alright, we you'll get this memory back at the time of liberation. When we shall find that this word is but a dream, then alone you will realize in your soul and the soul of your soul that you are but actors and this world is a stage. Then alone the idea of non-attachment comes to you with power of thunder. Then all this thirst for enjoyment, this clinging to life in this world will vanish forever. Then the mind will see as clear as daylight. How many times all these existed for you? How many millions of times you have had fathers and mothers, sons and daughters, husbands and wives, relatives and friends, wealth and power. They came and went. How many times you were on the very crest of the wave, and how many times you were down at the bottom of despair. When memory brings all these to you, then alone you stand as a hero and smile when the world frowns upon you. Then alone will you stand up and say, I care not even for thee, O death. What terrors hast thou for me? This will come to all. Don't that sound like some gangster shit? What suffering? What freedom? What liberation? What's holding you down? Once you come to that level of understanding, what enemies? What can these folks do to you? What can Trump do to you? What can Diddy do to you? Did he do it to you? I doubt it. What can be done? That shit hit you like thunder, is what he's saying. What Lawless Blade say? Nothing. Nothing. Now, what causes that? Swami Vivekananda in the early chapters, he told duality is the cause of suffering. Duality is the cause of suffering. When you get into this Gyan Yoga, that's what they talking about, because that's what we're reading, right? The Gyan Yoga, the book of Gyan Yoga, by a enlightened being, by a liberated being, Swami Vivekananda. If you paying attention to all this type of shit, tell me if this is any different from the shit Bobby Hemming was telling us. Tell me if this is any different from the shit Brother Panic was telling us. Tell me if this is any different from the shit that Trav is telling us. Phil Valentine. Who else? Who else is pointing you? And I'm shouting out those people who point you right back to self. That do YouTube, at least. Because I know y'all are those people in y'all's life, right? We're pointing you back to the self. What enemies? And ultimately, what suffering? Because you got to think about where does liberation happen? What does enlightenment happen? It doesn't happen in the soul. It doesn't happen in consciousness. That shit happens within the mind. The mind is what we are liberating. How do you know that? Because we just went through. I stand here. He said, as I stand here, am the effect, the result of all infinite paths, which is tact to me. You are liberating your mind. You're not liberating your soul. Your soul can't be liberated. The soul is liberation itself, nigga. Am I making sense, y'all? Somebody let me know something. Ain't no liberating the soul. It's liberation of the mind, the ego, and the intellect. That's what's being liberated. Save yourself. Okay. Lawless got me. Are there any arguments, any rational proofs for the reincarnation of the soul? So far, we have been given the negative side, showing that the opposite arguments to disprove it are invalid. Are there any positive proofs? There are, and most valid and most valid ones too. No other theory except that of reincarnation accounts for the wide divergence that we find between man and their power to acquire knowledge. First, let us consider the process by means of which knowledge is acquired. Suppose I go into the street and see a dog. How do I know? Listen, y'all, listen, because this is like the most simple, basic understanding that we can get, right? To disprove, you know what I'm saying, what all the scientists say or whatever any other religious person says about it not being that. But here we go. Where was I at? There are, and the most valid ones too, no other theory except that of reincarnation accounts for the wide divergence that we find between man and man and their power to acquire knowledge. First, let us consider the process by means of which knowledge is acquired. How do you acquire knowledge, right? We should already know that knowledge is gained through the senses, and then it passes up to the mind, right? But let's see. See what it says. Suppose I go into the street and see a dog. How do I know it's a dog? I refer to my mind. And in my mind are groups of all the past experiences, arranged and pigeonholed, as it were. Remember, right? The mind deletes, distorts, and generalizes, right? We went over that in past videos before. Deletion, distortion, and generalization is what the mind does. Okay? Here we go. Let's see. New impression comes. I take it up and refer it to some of the old pigeonholes. And as soon as I find a group of the same impressions already existing, I place it in that group and I am satisfied. What do we say? Generalize, deletion, and distortion. That's a generalization that's taking place in the mind. I know it is a dog because it coincides with impressions already there. And when I do not find the cognizance of a new experience inside, I become dissatisfied. When not finding the cognizance of an impression, we become dissatisfied. This state of mind is called ignorance. This state of mind is called ignorance. Why am I not highlighting this? I place it in that group. Damn, hold up. Let's see if I can get this all the way up here. There we go. Place it in that group. I'm satisfied because I know it's a dog because it coincides with impressions that are already there. And when I do not find cognizance of a new experience inside, I become dissatisfied. When finding that cognizance of an impression, or not finding cognizance of that this of impressions, we become dissatisfied. This state of the mind is called ignorance. But when finding cognizance of an impression already exists, we become satisfied. That is called knowledge. You see? So when you having breakthroughs, what do you think you're doing? I know y'all know. You're not sitting here discovering something fucking new, nigga. When you have that aha moment, what Penny tell us, what any spiritual thing is telling us, the real breakthroughs are what? Aha moments. And sometimes they so fucking subtle. While everybody looking to run into a goddamn spirit. While everybody looking to run into a goddamn spirit. What y'all was saying last night? When we thought our higher self looked like a different lit up glowing version of us. That's because we have a Hollywood tale of spirituality. But when you really had that run in of that understanding, it's like an aha moment. Like, damn, that's it. Damn, sure is. Just like that, bro. This spiritual shit has been made to be entertaining. Somebody dropped something in Discord, but I don't see it. Somebody dropped something in the Discord, but I don't see it, dog. It's all good. Let me get back to the what's the name. I'll check the Discord later. Um, yeah, all right. I don't even know what the hell I said, Lawless Blaze. I wish I knew what the hell he was laughing at. Okay, when one apple fell, men became dissatisfied. Then gradually they found out a series of the same impressions. Um, hold up, damn. When one apple fell, men became dissatisfied. Then gradually, they found out a series of the same impressions forming, as it were, a chain. When was the chain they found? When was the chain they found that all apples fell? They called this gravitation. Now we see that without a fund of already existing experiences, any new experience would be impossible, for there would be nothing to which to refer the new impression. So if, as some of the European philosophers think, a child came into the world with what they call tabula rasa, I don't know y'all if y'all listen to y'all want to hear that shit and check it out and look it up. It's TABULARASA. Such a child would never attain to any degree of intellectual power because he would have nothing to which refer his new experiences. We see that the power of acquiring knowledge varies in each individual, right? Did we just talk about that? Some people can't acquire certain knowledge. Why? Because they have nothing to refer it to. They have nothing to refer it to. If you have nothing to refer it to, you're not going to get it. Which is why human beings use signs and symbols. Signs and symbols can travel through lifetimes. Signs and symbols are encoded with impressions. That's why they have a Kabbalistic tree of life. It's a symbol that you can tap into. And it's loaded with mental impressions from people on that esoteric, spiritual, occult level. It's loaded. Hold up. Let me finish this sentence, then I'm gonna get to the chat real quick. Hold up. What was I at? Because he will have nothing to refer as new experiences. We see that the power of acquiring knowledge varies in each individual, and it shows that one of us has come with his own found knowledge. Knowledge can only be got in one way, the experience. There is no other way to know. If we have not had the experience in this life, we must have had it in other lives. Right there. Right there. It's not just because I'm saying it. It's not just because anybody else is fucking saying it. This has been said. And honestly, it's logical sense based on the logic of having spiritual knowledge and experiences. Let's see what, just like that. What Penny say, master your breakthroughs. Bro, do you know how many times I watched that video with him and Imani, bro? Master your breakthroughs, bro. Bro, I can't tell you how many times I've watched it, bro. It be videos like that. I'm trying to remember a quote, but I can't right now. Father Blaze say, roller thinking their spirit looks like something outside of them. Hollywood version of spirituality. Come on now. Father Blaze say, that's called Gnosis, right? Come on now. You come to find out, jnana means the same thing as Gnosis. Knowing or knowledge. So there's paths to take. Me being ignorant didn't know that there were different yogas. You got the hatha yoga, which my nigga Coop do. And obviously, he got some Gyan yoga. Hatha yoga is the yoga that you do when you bending and breaking your backbones and shit. You know, then you got Raja yoga, meditation. Then you got Bhakti yoga, devotional, love, right? Then you got Karma yoga. Once you look at, I'm gonna do a video on that because once you look at all the major spiritual systems of the world, they are based off of some of these. Yeah, my nigga Cooper Yogi around this bitch. My nigga Cooper Yogi around this bitch. But you'll see that all these spiritual systems are, because what I understand, yoga is just the term for path. When we say path over here in our occult shit, oh yeah, that's the path. Or he chose the esoteric path, or he chose the the goddamn witchcraft path, or they chose the dark path, the right hand path, the left hand path. It's the same. It's path. Yoga, yoke. So which path has your ass yoked? All right, where we go? How is it that the fear of death is everywhere? Uh-oh. If we get into some shit, let's see. How is the fear of death is everywhere? Let's make sure it's showing up clear on the screen. All right. How is the fear of death everywhere? So say connecting high to the low, to the high, etc. Come on now. Come on now. That's what we talking about. Damn, what was I at? Oh, how is the fear of death? How is it the fear of death is everywhere? A little chicken is just out of the egg, and an eagle comes, and the chicken flies in fear to its mother. There is an old explanation. Parentheses. I should hardly dignify it by such a name. It is called instinct. He said he should hardly dignify by such a name. So it could be another name for instinct, but let's go. Let's just run with it. What makes that little chicken just out of the egg afraid to die? Think about it. What makes it? What makes that little chicken, as soon as it come out of an egg, right? If it doesn't have any prior knowledge, how does it know to run from a fucking eagle? It should sit there and dumbfound it and not know that something is trying to attack it and to automatically run, right? And this is what I'm saying. Us as a species, we have a natural past memory already built in, coming in as a human. See what I'm saying? How you know when you come out, go straight for that titty? How do you know? Mhm. What makes a little chicken just out of an egg afraid to die? How is it as soon as a duckling hatched by a hen comes near water and jumps into it and swims? It's never swam before, nor saw anything swim. People call it instinct. It is a big word, but it leaves us where we were before. Let us study this phenomenon of instinct. A child begins to play on the piano. At first, she must pay attention to every key she is fingering. He should have said that, but that's 1890 anyway. As 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 she goes on and on for months and years, the playing becomes almost involuntary, instinctive. What was first done with the conscious will does not require later on an effort of the will, right? So after you've done so many goddamn rituals and rituals and rituals and rituals, you're like, okay, you don't even think about doing a ritual in the same manner no more as somebody who just started doing rituals last month. You don't do magic in the same way as somebody who did magic who just started last month. This is not yet complete proof. Let us keep going. One half remains, and this is that almost the actions, hold up, one half remains, and that is that almost all the actions which are now instinctive can be brought under the control of the will. Each muscle of the body can be brought under control. This is perfectly well known. This is perfectly well known. So this proof is complete by the double method that we now call instinct. Now, what we call instinct is the degeneration of voluntary actions. Therefore, if the analogy applies to the whole of creation, if all nature is uniform, and then what is the instinct in lower animals as well as in men? Must be the generation of will. From the study of the macrocosm, we discover that each evolution presupposes an involution, and each involution an evolution. How is instinct explained in the light of this knowledge? What we call instinct is a result of voluntary action. Uh oh. Uh oh. What we call instinct is a result of voluntary action. Instinct in man or animal must therefore have been created by their what? Swami Vivekananda. By their what? By their previous actions. When we speak of voluntary actions, we admit previous existence. Voluntary action. Huh? Huh? What did Greg used to say? Huh? Huh? You hear me? Huh? Shut the fuck up, man. Listen. Huh? Hey, when them old heads be getting at your ass, bro, they be giving it jail, bro. When we speak of voluntary actions, we admit previous existence. This previous existence thus creates instinct. The little chicken's fear of death, the ducklings taking to the water, and all the involuntary actions in the human being, which are the result of past experiences, have now become instinctive. So far, we have proceeded very clearly, and so far, the latest science is with us. The latest scientific men are coming back to ancient sages, and as far as they have done so, there is no difficulty. They admit that each man and animal is born with a fund of experience, and, and that all the instincts in mind are the result of past experience. But what, they ask, but what, they ask, is the use of saying that the experience belongs to the soul? Why not say it belongs to the body and the body alone? Why not say it is hereditary transmission? This is the last question. Why not say that all the experience which I am born, hold on. Why not say that all the experience with which I am born is a resultant of the past experience of my ancestors? Uh-oh. 0 0, my motherfucking dog always standing on P. My God. What's happening, man? It's always good to see you, brother. My brother from Mexico. My God. The sum total of experience. Hold up. Okay, so here we go. You're talking about this ancestor shit. Let's see. Why not say that all the experience which I am born is a resultant of the past experiences of my ancestors? The sum total of the experience from the little protoplasm up to the highest human being is in me, but it has come from body to body in the course of hereditary transmission. Where where will the difficulty be? The question is very nice, and we admit some part of this hereditary transmission. How far? As far as furnishing the material of the body. So what they're saying comes from ancestors stops at the body. We, by our past actions, are born in a certain body. Listen, past actions. Remember, action, karma, and action are the same thing. Come on now. We, by far, we, by our past actions, are born in a certain body, and the suitable material for that body comes from the parents who have made themselves fit to have our soul as their offspring. But this simple hereditary theory takes for granted, without any proof, the most astonishing proposition. Uh-oh, what are you finna say? That mental experience can be recorded in matter. Uh-oh. That mental experience can be recorded in matter. That mental experience can be involved in matter. When I look at you in the lake of my mind, listen, when I look at you in the lake of my mind, there is a wave. That wave subsides, but then remains in fine form as an impression. Remember that. Because remember, you ever notice, okay, let's say this. You ever notice how you see a lot of people every goddamn day? Think about that. You see a lot of people every fucking day. And you don't remember none of them motherfuckers. Right? You don't remember none of them motherfuckers. But do you? No, you don't. But it's certain ones that you just, you know what I'm saying? You'll never forget. Certain ones like, oh, I know I didn't see this nigga somewhere before. Or you know you didn't seen him somewhere before and just never mentioned it. Think about that. There was somewhere I was going with it, but I can't remember. Let's see. All right, Lawless Blaze, you good, bro? You just joined the Discord. You good, bro? All right. Where was I going? When I look at you, in the lake of my mind, there is a wave that subsides, but it remains in fine form as an impression. We understand the physical impression remaining in the body, but what proof is there for assuming that the mental impression can remain in the body, since the body goes to pieces? What cares it? Even granting that it is possible for each mental impression to remain in the body, that every impression, beginning from the first man down to my father, was in my father's body. How could it be transmitted to me? Through the bio bioplasmic cell? What what could how could that happen? The father's body does not come to the child in toto. The same parents may have a number of children. Listen, check this out. The father's body does not come to the child in toto. The same parents have a number of children. Then, from this theory of hereditary transmission, check this out, where the impression and the impressed are one, because both are material. It rigorously follows that by birth of every child, the parents must lose a part of their own impressions. Or if the parents should transmit the whole of their impressions, then after birth of that first child, their mind would be a vacuum. So that hereditary passing down shit it ain't making sense. It ain't making sense. It ain't making sense. Because by the time you just keep having kids, or shit, from what he's saying, by the first kid you have, you just pass down all that shit. All of what shit? Zero says, I think I enjoy the perfect moment. I experienced this today. You always having them experiences, my guy. That's what I'm talking about. Always living in the moment, always standing on principle. Again, if in the bioplasmic cell the infinite amount of impressions from all time have entered, where and how can they exist there? This is a most impossible position, and until these physiologists can prove how and where those impressions live in that cell and what they mean by a mental impression sleeping in the physical cell, their position cannot be taken for granted. What did it say here? So far, it is clear then. Hold up, make sure it ain't. Is it showing clear? Yeah, it's showing clear. So far, it is clear then that these impressions are in the mind. That's what I tell you when we talking about. So yes, yeah, cool. That's what I'm gonna get into now. So basically, the mental can be transferred. That's exactly what I'm saying. So here's the thing, because that's the only thing that's getting transferred. Because that's the only thing that's incarnating. That's what they call in the spirit. The psyche, the mind is the spirit, that which incarnates in new lives. And the spirit is based off of what we call here. These mental impressions sit in here. The manas, the chitta, the mind stuff. What they call the mind stuff, it ain't nothing but memories, right? So, damn, it was something I was going to say about that. Um, so it's clear that these impressions are in the mind. Okay, so if it's in the mind, damn, what was I going to say, y'all? Man and mind. Yeah, okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down, Coop. Man equals mind. See what I'm saying? Come on, mind. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Because once you reincarnate, all you take with you is your past memories and your impressions on the mind, bro. That's the only thing that you really, that's why I said the only thing that's being liberated down here is the mind. And what is it? And what are we liberating? And what are we enlightening? To get enlightened, you're enlightening, you're lighting up the mind to free the mind. It's not to free the soul. The soul is just sitting there observing. The mind is being liberated from its impressions. That same thing Trav was talking about last night on this live. Breaking through these influences. If you just joined, hit the like button. If you have not joined the Discord group, hit the link in the bio. Hit the link in the that's pinned in the chat. The mind. Everything that we're doing here is about the mind, y'all. The whole life is about the mind. Then you get to that point of self-realization of the soul that you are pure unconditioned consciousness. Then you feel like, oh shit, all this shit ain't doing shit to me. Nothing can be done to me. What suffering? What matrix? What enemies? Obviously, we got to get to that point though, right, y'all? But I've had that realization, like, okay, what liberation? What I truly am can never not be liberated because it is liberation itself. It's a paradox. That's why it's chaos. You can't put a finger on it. You can't really describe it. All you can do is build up concepts around the soul, around chaos, around consciousness. That's the best thing we got. Let's see what he says. So far, it is clear then that these impressions are in the mind, that the mind comes to take birth after birth and uses the material most proper for it. There we go. He just said it. Shit. Why listen to Swami Vivekananda? Don't. If you don't want to, there be no difference. I know more folks in the chat get it. Now here we go. It says this. So far, it's clear then that the impressions in the mind are in the mind, that the mind comes to take birth after birth and uses the material most proper for it, and that the mind, which has made itself fit for only a particular kind of body, will have to wait until it gets that material. This we understand. The theory then comes to this. There is hereditary transmission so far as furnishing the material to the soul is concerned. But the soul migrates and manufactures body after body. Each thought we think and each deed we do is stored in it in fine forms, ready to spring up again and take a new shape. Don't that sound like elementals? Hmm? When I look at you, a wave rises in my mind. It goes down, as it were, and becomes finer and finer, but it does not die. It is ready to start up again as a wave in the shape of memory. So all these impressions are in the mind, and when I die, the resultant force of them will be upon me. A ball is here. A ball is here, and each one of us takes a mallet in his hands and strikes the ball from all sides. Imagine that. The ball goes from point to point in the room, and when it reaches the door, it flies out. What carries it out? The resultant of the blows, these patterns. We're talking about elementals, right? We're talking about elements are leaving their impressions on that ball or on that mind, and it takes that with it and goes through life or lives. What carries it out? The resultant of these blows that will give it its direction. So it's not by accident that you're here. It's not by accident that you're studying this type of shit. It's not by accident that you're going through the type of burdens that you're going through. Those burdens that you're going through is that mallet knocking your ass around. That's what I'm telling you. No obstacles will apprehend you. Prosper over pain. Because they're not obstacles, they're opportunities. Opportunities for what? For your ass to get knocked out that goddamn door that he's talking about. The resultant sum total of all the work, hold up. The resultant of all these blows that will give its direction. So what directs the soul when the body dies? The resultant, the sum total of all his works, of all the works it has done, of all the thoughts it has thought. If the resultant is such that it has to be a manufacture a new body for further experience, it will go to those parents who are ready to supply with the suitable material for that body. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing, guys. So if you still got shit to learn, here you go. But ultimately, you in control of that, right? Ultimately, you in control of that. Because once you come into liberation of knowledge of self on that type of level, what the fuck is death? You see what I'm saying? What the fuck is reincarnation to a nigga like you? You already infinite. You already liberated. What are you talking about? I keep telling y'all when you look at the tree of life, bro, like, bro, of course we God. Sir Impeccable, don't even trip. Don't even trip. We into the meat. Of course you God. Look at that. There's nothing else to be. Obviously in the background, the whole white background all around there is chaos, right? This whole tree exists in chaos. If you watch my Dark Realistic video, you already know what I'm talking about. There's nothing else to be but God. All this is one thing. It's not separate things. It's one big plate of God. And everything that exists is existent because of God. And it is God. But in a different manner. Remember we said Kether is in Malkuth, but at a different manner. Remember we said Kether is the Malkuth of the unmanifest. So what's death? What's reincarnation? I keep telling y'all, there's nothing else to do around this motherfucker but come down here to earth. You might not like that shit, but ain't nothing else going on, man. That's the only place where shit is popping. Ain't shit else going on. And when you just finally sick of playing the game, when you finally sick of playing GTA, you get to this type of information. Like, fuck this, bro. Okay, bro, I didn't play it. I didn't, bro, you'll be fucking terrified you find out how many times you're incarnated, bro. Motherfuckers want to see all their past lives, not me. I just know, coming to the knowledge of knowing that I have had to have plenty past lives that make me susceptible to this type of information, to the real occult shit. Not playing around trying to see demons and put hexes on people and see spirits and shit and call myself Ra Atum Atum and say I'm trying to go back and be kings and queens again. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. They're just not where my mental impressions have placed me. Let's say that. My mental impressions have placed me, what I would say, is beyond that. Sir Impeccable, you sound like you feel me, my nigga. Welcome to the land of niggerdom. Welcome to the land of niggerdom. I told some folks I was a ex-street nigga turned spiritual nigga, just like some of y'all was ex bitch ass niggas turned super street gangster niggas. Change is possible is what I told him. And one of my homies said, well, bro, you know you actually don't have to be a nigger anymore. I'm like, nope, fuck that. I am nigger. I'm gonna always be a nigger. Not always, obviously, it's a joke, but I'm saying I have no problem with being enlightened and still doing niggery shit. Still make nigger jokes. Still wear nigger clothes. Still eat nigger chicken. Nigger, here's a good nigger sticker. Nigger. They also say to escape the cycle of samsara. And this is how you escape it. By coming to realization that you are that soul. What are the 42 negative confessions of my God? Oh, that's Wayne M. What's up, Wayne? I thought that was Sir Impeccable. Both of y'all got purple on y'all shit. Peace, Wayne. SOP, my nigga. Stand on motherfucking principle, my nigga. And this is what you do. You get to that by realizing that you are that soul that has not incarnated and has not done a goddamn thing. We think we are the ones that's doing shit, but that's because we identify with the mind in the body. True knowledge of self is removing yourself from identifying with the mind in the body. At least as best as you fucking can. At least as best as you can in this lifetime. At least as best as you can. That don't mean you have to go sit off and live in a goddamn cave. You don't have to go sit and live off in a cave. And I was wondering if we should read the Bhagavad Gita next because it gets into that in a more simplistic level of understanding versus than that of the Upanishads. Because the Upanishads are full of like a lot of, it's not that coded, but occultists will get it. But a lot of that shit, who knows? But that's another question. I mean, another story. But you don't have to go sit off in a cave. This is our dharma as Mexicans, as black people in America, as white people in America who are into this type of information. We're placed over here for a reason. So, like in chapter 13 of the Bhagavad Gita, he's telling Arjuna, or chapter 3 in the Bhagavad Gita, he's telling Arjuna, hey, guess what, bro? Guess what? Arjuna get all this knowledge from Krishna, and he like, oh well, shit, ain't no point in me going to fight the war. Then why would I fight the war? I might as well just sit off in a corner and just get all this knowledge. You're like, no, nigga, your duty is to. You can still have enlightenment while being in the field. What does that mean? Translate to nowadays. You can still have enlightenment while working a job. You can still have enlightenment while being a baby daddy or a husband or a father or a business owner. Nigga, it's a way to live. Jeevanam, peace, peace. Roll to the Upanishad. Read it. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yo. I'm tapped in. All right. We already got the trend with the commentary of some I can't never say his name. Sankacharya. So yeah. I ain't just reading the Upanishads just back and forth like the regular shit. I'm tapping into the commentaries, especially of the Advaita Vedanta. That's more my speed. That's more my speed. Let's see. Mages. Kusei, man, the mental is all that's being transferred. So yes, bro. Yep, that's all that's being transferred. Let's see what Zero say. Personality, just a tool. It's awesome. Play with it without attachment. There we go. I find having less but more since a kid, passions gives me true happiness and peacefulness. Facts. I'm with you on that. Cool say the Shahs are much older than the Gita. Yeah, no, facts. 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 And I think they all come. I think they all are the Vedas, right? They are the Vedas. Then you take out bits and pieces of the Vedas. Just like it's the same thing with the Bible. You got people who just take the Old Testament of the Bible, and you got people who just take the New Testament of the Bible, and you got people like who Jehovah Witness take the Bible and do this with the Bible, and you got people who go be Mormons and do this with the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Create their own, and you know what I'm saying? Like shit like this. You know, that's what humans do. All right, let's continue, y'all. Let's continue. Let's see what Zero said before I continue. True enlightenment is living the life you want, just becoming the present as conscious and live like that without the true attachment that keep away your happiness. It's like total detachment. But can I put another comment, Zero? Let's continue reading. I don't want to be here. I don't want to hold y'all all night. This we understand. The theory then comes to this hereditary transmission so far as furnishing the material to the soul is concerned. But the soul migrates and manufactures the body after body. And each thought we think and each deed we do is stored in it in fine forms, ready to spring up again and take a new shape. When I look at you, a wave rises in my mind. It goes, hold on. Okay, fuck it, let's finish reading. Hold on. Hold up, y'all. Because I want the chat to show up. Why did it ain't showing up? Fuck it. So, okay, when I look at you, a wave rises in my mind, it goes down, as it were, and becomes finer and finer. But it does not die. It is ready to start up again as we wave, as a wave in the shape of memory. So all these impressions are in the mind, and when I die, the resultant force of them will be upon me. A ball is here, and each one of us takes a mallet in his hands and strikes the ball from side to side. The ball goes from point to point in the room, and when it reaches the door, it flies out. What carries it out? The resultant of these blows that will give it its direction. So what directs the soul when the body dies? The resultant, the sum total of all the works it has done, of all thoughts it has thought. That's why I tell y'all, like you also produce karma by your thoughts. This is why they tell you stop talking negative about yourself as well. This is why it's better to have pure of mind type of thoughts. I know we live in America and we get bombarded with a lot of shit, but that's another story. All right. If the resultant is such that it has to manufacture a new body for further experience, it will go to those parents who are ready to supply it with suitable material for that body. Thus, from body to body, it will go, sometimes to a heaven and back again to earth, and becoming a man or some lower animal. Because you got to remember, like in the Brahma Sutras and in the Upanishads, they talk about the lokas, the heavens. There are levels to these heavens, and the heavens are not eternal. They die as well. And also, you don't get the last up there. They talk about how your merit, basically your credit, your spiritual credit score, when you go up there to the whatever level of heavens, you stay up there for a while until you have used all of your credits. Then your ass come right back the fuck down. That's why in Advaita Vedanta, they like, fuck all of that. That is relative knowledge that is good to know. Like I told you on the Upanishads, it said, what is that? What is that one thing that I can know which all can be known? And the teacher told him, there is that the knowledge of the higher and of the lower. The lower is the shit that's in the Rig Vedas, the rituals, the fire rituals, the how to get into heaven, the astrology, the sciences, the math. Everything that you can think of is lower knowledge, except for that which is the knowledge of the self, the knowledge of that you are pure unconditioned consciousness, the knowledge that you are chaos, the knowledge that you are the soul, the knowledge that you are that. That's what's considered higher knowledge. Everything else is lower knowledge. Everything. That's what they're considering. You may disagree. I agree with it, and I see why. I don't, and they're not dismissing it as it's not shit that you need to know as you exist in manifest reality. They're just saying that's not the higher knowledge. If you want the knowledge that gets you out of reincarnation, the knowledge of the self and the soul and the or consciousness, Brahman or the Atman, is that which thou should be tapping into. But remember again, you have to have the right mental impressions. I'll give y'all a secret book that I ain't showed nobody yet and let you tap into it. It ain't really secret, but you probably have seen it before. Get some shit like this. Screenshot that. I'll leave it there. And I'll go get another book. The Atma Bodha. Beginner book of Advaita Vedanta. But don't think just because I say beginner that it's some good boy shit, because it's not. Tell you that now. Huh? Tell you niggas that now. Here's another one. Screenshot that. Don't say I don't love you niggas. Screenshot that, buddy. Mm-hmm. Screenshot that. Dog. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna give you niggas today. That's all I'm gonna give you niggas today. Yeah. Let's get back to it. I know a lot of niggas don't like to read books. Obviously, it ain't y'all. But you read no book. I got all the divine wisdom in me. Okay. Thus, from body to body, it will go sometimes to heaven and back to earth, becoming a man or some lower animal. In this way, it will go on until it has finished its experience and completed the cycle. That shouldn't be no coincidence to y'all. Y'all have heard that. No excitement or no new news to y'all. And spirituality, that's all we talk about. Reincarnation. I don't know nobody that's in spiritual esoteric or cult shit who don't believe in reincarnation. Okay, hold up. It then knows its own nature, knows what it is, and its ignorance vanishes. So once you get to that point where you complete the cycle, this is where you get to here, right? It then knows its own nature, knows what it is, and its ignorance vanishes. Its powers become manifest. It becomes perfect. No more is there any necessity for the soul to work through physical bodies, nor is there any necessity for it to work through fine or material bodies. It shines in its own light and it is free. No more to be born, no more to die. Who said I've been listening to that? Reincarnated. I'm a stargazer. Oh no. That's the one on that Tupac. Reincarnated. You see what I'm saying? And I don't even know if Hebrew Israelites even believe in reincarnation. So that lets you know he's tapped into outside other shit. You know what I'm saying? To be able to do that. Because I know he was talking about past life regressions and that. Me, personally, I'm not into past life regressions. I was at first. But shit, man, the nigga got shit to deal with in his life. And I'm not talking to you, Coop, like that in that sense. I'm just thinking out loud about that whole reincarnation type shit. I feel all the distractions that are over here. I feel like we are up for the challenge while acquiring this knowledge. It's a harder mission. No, facts. It is. I can definitely agree with that. Cause like that's what I'm saying. Because like that's when we get into that group soul shit. Dion Fortune be talking about. You see what I'm saying? Like she said, the racial dharma of the West, of the people from of European descent, holistically, is for them to conquer dense matter. They're not trying to leave and go to some higher spiritual plane and never reincarnate again. She literally said that. And I know y'all seen the video or y'all read the mystical Kabbalah, right? And she said that. They're not trying to leave this motherfucker and leave a land unconquered. Nigga, they still talking about conquering land. People who've been on a group souls of people, or which I like to call group thought forms, right? Because we still dealing with the mind, because that's what's incarnating. So group thought forms have already did that. We've already done it. What Bobby Hemmings say, been there, done it, got the t-shirt. We already done it. Not trying to be no goddamn king no more. I'm gonna do what I do with my family and shit and be unattached from trying to make sure my legacy survives thousands of years down the line. I don't give a fuck about that shit. That's me. I don't think it's wrong that people do that. That's just where I'm at. I can't and I won't judge nobody. I really salute anybody that's on to that. But that's relative shit. I'm just not there with that. I'm gonna do what I need to do for the family while I'm here. Duh, yeah, the fuck yeah, to the best of my ability. I just won't live a life where I'm stressed and trying to make sure I create generational wealth. That made some people leave, and that's fine, brothers. Let's continue. But yeah, cool. I know you feel me. You know I'd be talking shit, but in reality, bro, we got so much shit to deal with in this life. I can already tell what I've done in my past life based off of the type of relationship because I'm aware now. You see what I'm saying? I'm picking up on the subtlety, the type of friendships I create, the type of day-to-day experiences that I have, the type of cycles that I'm going through. It only makes sense that I'm going through these experiences from shit in my past life that I need to be finding, not finding, but like finding, like a refinery type shit. Like I need to be balancing this shit out. That's a better word. Balancing certain past karmas or past actions out. That's when we get put into that blender for real. When I say get put into that blender, that's when we keep on going through shit that's inconvenient in our life. Let me say that. All right. We shall not go into the particulars of this, but I shall bring before you one More point with regard of this theory of reincarnation. It is a theory that advances the freedom of the human soul. It is one theory that does not lay the blame for all our weaknesses upon somebody else, which is common human failing. We do not look at our own faults. The eyes do not see themselves, they see the eyes of everybody else. We human beings are very slow to recognize our own weakness, our own faults, so long as we can lay the blame upon somebody else. Men in general lay all the blame on their fellow men, or failing that, on God, or they conjure up a ghost called fate. Where is fate and what is fate? We reap what we sow. We are the makers of our own fate. No one else has the blame. No one else the praise. The wind is blowing. Though the wind is blowing, those vessels whose sails are unfurled catch it and go forward on their way. But those who have their sails furled do not catch the wind. It that the is that the fault of the wind? It is the fault of the is that the fault of the merciful Father, whose wind is mercy, whose wind of mercy is blowing without ceasing, day and night, whose mercy knows no decay? Is it his fault that some of us are unhappy and some happy? We make our own destiny. His sun shines for the weak as well as for the strong. His wind blows for saint. Listen, check this out. You finna say something. For people believing sinners. All right. What did he say here? His wind blows for saints and sinners alike. He is the Lord of all, the Father of all, merciful and impartial. Do you mean to say that he, the Lord of creation, looks upon the petty things of our life in the same light as we do? You know, that's what, Christianity would teach you. Like God just reaching his hand down and moving little things around here and there. What a degenerate kind of God that would be. We are like little puppies making life and death struggles here and foolishly thinking that even God himself would take them as seriously as we do. He knows what the puppies play. He knows what the puppy play means. What the puppy's play means, right? Or the movie of that puppy that he's living in. He knows what it means. Our attempts to lay blame on him, making him the punisher and the rewarder, are only foolish. He neither punishes nor rewards any. He neither punishes or nor rewards any. His infinite mercy is open to everyone in all times, in all places, under all conditions, unfailing, unswerving. Upon us depends upon us depends how we utilize it. Blame neither man nor God, nor anyone in the world. When you find yourself suffering, blame yourselves and try to do better. This is the only solution of the problem. Those that blame others, and alas, their number is increasing every day, are generally miserable souls with helpless brains who have brought themselves to that pass through their own mistakes. Though they blame others, this does not alter their position. It does not serve them in any way. This attempt to throw the blame upon others only weakens them the more. Therefore, blame no one for your faults. Stand upon your own feet. Stand upon that. Stand on P, nigga. That's what he meant to say. Vivekananda forgot to put the P right there. Stand on your own P and take the whole responsibility upon yourselves. Say, this misery that I am suffering is of my own doing, and that the very thing proves that it will have to be undone by me alone. That which I created, I can demolish. That which I created is by someone else I shall never be able to destroy. Therefore, stand up, be bold, be strong, take the whole responsibility of your own shoulders, and know that you are the creator of your own destiny. All the strength and succor you want is within yourselves. Therefore, make your own future. Let the dead past bury its dead. Let the dead past bury its dead. The infinite future is before you, and you must always remember that each word, thought, and deed lays upon a store for you. Remember that. Let's highlight that. It's honestly a lot of shit I should have highlighted, but sometimes certain shit just sticks out, and that'd be what you need to be reading. What it says, let the dead past bury its dead. The infinite future is before you, and you must always remember that each word and thought and deed lays upon a store for you, and that as the bad thoughts and works are ready to spring upon you like triggers, so also there is inspiring hope that the good thoughts and good deeds are ready with the power of 100,000 angels to defend you, always and forever. Now you got to know the way that he's talking, because when you get in this rate of redundance, they ain't talking about no goddamn angels. But you got to remember, he's talking to Americans in 1896, so he had to come speaking a certain language. You see what I'm saying? He had to come speaking a certain language. He couldn't go that deep because what you got to talk to people where they at. Sir Impeccable says you still got to experience your humanity, remain unattached like human shit, like paying bills, family, putting gas in the car, etc. I don't have a love for something, man. I just have a love for something greater. There you go, and that something greater is the true self, the true you. Cool says do better. That's it. That's it. This is what we talking about, y'all. I'm on some, you know what I'm saying? Let's tap into some goddamn knowledge of self. That's where the true freedom lies. Yes, we can learn the astrology and all that other shit. That's still relative to be using in this lifetime. But it ain't getting your ass out of here. It ain't setting you free. You just know more shit. You just know more shit. And let's just be honest about it. You just know more shit. One of the true thing that you really want to know is that of the soul. We always talk about Egypt and our ancestors and shit, and that's what they left us. What Penny say? How to die and not the fuck to come back. That don't mean suicide. That don't mean say fuck your family and go live in the woods. No, nigga, that's escapism. We're not talking about escaping. You can be in the world and out of it. That's what that means. Don't be attached to this shit. I think it was a Bible verse where Jesus said, why do you spend all your time building up the treasures on earth where thieves can steal them and take them and mold can overtake them and insects can do this and do that? Why not store your treasures in heaven? No, and it's not even necessarily, to me, from my point of view, it's not even necessarily talking about that heaven, that higher self, the self. So it's not taking these possessions in the physical and being attached to them. You can still have them. If you become a millionaire, fucking great. Don't get attached to the goddamn money. Because it goes up and it goes down. That's just that on that. Don't get attached to the house that you buy. Because it eventually breaks down. You eventually die. And your kids eventually take it over. And they eventually run that shit into the ground. So the fuck what? It's a house. It's not meant to last forever. You don't own it. Technically, if you know commercial law, you don't own none of this shit. No way. That's how I'm walking and living through this motherfucker. Because obviously I've been placed in America in the fucking 21st century for a fucking reason. You've been placed here for a fucking reason. This ain't India. You don't get to run off and go to the mountains, nigga. They can't tax you over there. Going to that mountain, boy, and living to that forest, nigga, they gonna figure out a way to get your ass up out of there, nigga. We own this. You can't go out of here and live out here and live off the land. You gotta pay taxes. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all feeling me. Y'all still here rocking with me. So for those that are in here that has not joined the Discord, bro, we have the Discord pinned in the chat. We need y'all to join the Discord. I need y'all motherfuckers to join the Discord. I need to be hearing about y'all joining the Discord. Why y'all ain't join the Discord? Huh? I should have new people joining the Discord. This is the type of shit we on. We need see everybody whine and cry about not having nobody to talk to in their life, and their friends and their family don't want to hear this type of shit. We got a Discord full of people who talk about this type of shit. Get around some like-minded individuals. What we doing over there? We dropping gems. We chopping it up. We got a support group for those who may be going through some shit. Make a friend through the goddamn ethers. God damn it. Tap in with some folks who can, you know what I'm saying, support you on the other side of the world. They ain't got to be right next to you. You have a breakthrough, drop it in the chat. You can't talk to your mama, your cousin, your brother, your sister, your baby mama, your girl, whatever. Sometimes you can't chop it up with them. That's what I created this for. So you motherfuckers need to be joining the goddamn Discord and hit the goddamn like button. Nigga, if you want your good nigger sticker, or if you're white, get your good wigger sticker. Or if you Mexican, get your cross the border sticker. You have successfully crossed the border into enlightenment, nigga. And ain't no police stopping you. You have finally broke the chains of slavery off, nigga. You have finally broke out of European imperialism and patriotism, nigga. And the mind is where liberation is happening. Not in the body. This body, I don't give a fuck what you do with this body, bro. This body has its own karma. It breaks down, bro. It does. And I'm not saying do not eat healthy. Definitely not saying do not work out. Not saying that. But ultimately you gotta get to the point where you're not attached to this body. Because it has to go. It has to dwindle. Which is why I'm down with reincarnation. That's why I'm down with cremation. Because when you go, your body lingers around. Your spirit, your soul, not your soul, but your spirit, your mind lingers around because it's still attached to that body. So if they going to burn that motherfucker up, you ain't gonna have no choice but to goddamn, just in case. I doubt if I would be, but just in case. So I'm gonna burn that motherfucker up, turn it to ashes, get rid of it. Don't sit that body in no goddamn box in the ground. And they know this. That's why they started up a culture of burying your ass in a box in the ground. They ain't stupid. They know what they doing. My niggas, did y'all hear me? Y'all in the chat? Am I talking to myself? Somebody drop a P in the chat, SOP in the chat if y'all still here with me. Anybody got any questions, bro? I hear you. Anybody got any questions and want to chop it up? I wish I could. I can't even bring nobody on this motherfucker because I ain't know my what's name. Okay, I got my SOP. But yeah, though, y'all, this is the path, you know what I'm saying, that a nigga has chosen. And it's always been getting here. Okay. Willie, will you stop Dave? What's up, Dave? Appreciate you for joining us, bro. Hopefully you hit that. Hopefully, my nigga, you can hit that link to get that email sent to you so you can get inside this Discord group. Especially if you hear dropping SOP, I'm pretty sure you watched multiple videos before, so you know what the game is going. You know how we doing it around this bitch. We need you in that Discord group. All right? But this is what we on, man. I gave y'all some books. Y'all can go tap into it, especially dealing with this at the way of Vedanta shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not one of like trying to adopt everybody's culture. I'm on some chaos magician type shit, like, or some chaos type shit, which we are anyway, right? Take little bits and pieces from over here, little bits and pieces over there, and put it all together. I can still have my nigger culture. and then adapt it with the knowledge of self. Because I need to be able to speak to my people with something that he said in this chapter. Let's go back. What did he say, y'all? It's all ours anyway. Right. Exactly what I'm talking about. What did he say? What did he say? So let's look at this statement right here. Let's go over this. Y'all getting matter of fact, let me send an email to y'all now. No, I'm gonna send it after this because I don't want to get off topic. But y'all getting an email of this study guide. Y'all know every Sunday we do our readings. We send out study guides if you're on our email list. That way, remember what we talk about how important it is to have impressions on the mind and keep this shit impressed on your mind, right? So you take that with you. That's what you had to do in your last life for you to be able to tap into this information. So we're gonna keep it going till we ain't gotta keep coming back to this bitch no more, right? So let's look at this. Because this is what we have to understand about spiritual teachers or any spiritual guru. I'm talking about anyone from 1,000 years ago, 5,000, 100,000 years ago, up until today, what we do on YouTube. Nobody is teaching you anything new. You need to understand that. We're not teaching you shit new. This shit has always been here, and it's gonna always be here. Even when the universe or existence goes into a dormant state and reemerges again, it's gonna be the same shit. Okay? It's gonna be the same shit. So what Swami Vivekananda say? In fact, the question was answered once for all, thousands of years ago, and through all subsequent time, that answer is being restated. Okay, yet it is not the answer that did not come. Each time the question was raised, the answer came, and as time rolls on, the answer will gain more and more strength. What answer? The question he was asked up here: why are we here? Do we live forever? What dies? Why do we die? Why do we suffer? What is our destiny? Where do we come from? That question. All right. So the answer came, and each time we raised the answer, even time we raised, the answer came, and time rolls on. The answer will gain more and more strength. Here we go. In fact, the question was answered once for all, thousands of years ago, and through all subsequent time, the answer is being restated, re-illustrated, made clearer to our intellect. That's all that we're doing. We're up. Swami Vivekananda speaking about this shit in 1896. He brought it. He updated the system of which it can be translated in. So he not speaking from fucking the year 1 BC. He got to update that system, get an understanding of it, and do what we doing right here on this YouTube. Break it down in layman's terms so regular niggas can get it, regular wiggers can get it, regular Mexicans can get it, regular people from the UK can get it, niggas from UK come on, because the occult shit codes a lot of shit on fucking purpose. But if you do cross comparative study, which is what I tell y'all, which is why all these goddamn books is in the back, right? Because we need to do comparative study. We can't leave our shit up to one goddamn book. And for those who don't read, it's okay, whatever. But what is he saying here? It's being restated, re-illustrated, made clearer to our intellect. We have a different intellect than those of those 100,000 years ago who built the pyramids or however long the fuck ago. What we have to do, therefore, is merely make a restatement of the answer. That's all the niggas sitting here doing, bro. We're just restating that same answer that has been known since past time. That's all Bobby did. That's all Phil did. That's all Panic did. That's all I'm doing. That's all we doing. Is reinstatement in a modern time. We do not pretend to throw any new light on all these absorbing problems, but we should try to put before you the ancient truth in the language of modern times. That's what I said with the Dark Veil video. I just haven't seen chaos connected with consciousness in the soul. All I did was connect it. I ain't create no new shit. I was like, oh shit, I ain't heard nobody in a occult connect consciousness and the soul together. And everybody that I hear talk about consciousness, talking about consciousness is raising up and raising down and raise your consciousness. And you know what I'm saying? Your conscience is down, so raise your consciousness. They don't, no, that ain't it. I ain't seen nobody put it together like that with the occult shit, but it wasn't nothing new. Nigga, this shit is here. That's how I found it. But we shall try to put before the ancient truth in the language of modern times, to speak the thoughts of the ancients in the language of to speak the thoughts of the ancients in the language of the moderns, to, to speak the thoughts of the philosophers in the language of the people, to speak the thoughts of the angels in the language of men, to speak the thoughts of God in the language of poor humanity, so that man will understand them. For the same divine essence from which these ideas emanated is ever present in man, and therefore he can always understand them. So that's that on that today, y'all. So that means next Sunday, what we doing? We going into immortality. I know you niggas like immortality. I know you niggas like immortality. If you have not hit the link in the bio, I mean in the it ain't in the bio yet because I had to restart this. That's pinned in the chat to join our Discord group. Please join our Discord group. Get around some like-minded people that helps keep these mental impressions on you. What do we say? That travels with you through lifetimes. The mind. What does the mind consist of? Mental fucking impressions. So join the Discord group, get some of this shit impressed on your goddamn mental, motherfucker. And as always, love, and as always, what is it, y'all? We standing on principle. That's our standard operating procedure. Our standard operating procedure is to stand on principle, stand on motherfucking purpose. Much love, y'all. I'll holler at y'all in the Discord group, and I'll holler at y'all next Sunday on this motherfucker. Peace.